9 things that happen to your body if you stop having sex. Number 1. You may feel a change in your libido. Sex is a powerful thing. According to the Cleveland Clinic, benefits of a healthy sex life range from burning calories to helping your immune system. It can even make you live longer. But what if you're not having regular sex, or any sex at all? The health effects of celibacy vary based on your health, how old you are, and even what kind of sex you were having. But you will likely see some impacts, says Suri Cooper, LCSW, certified sex therapist. For starters, you may feel either a loss of sex drive or an increase in libido. For some people who refrain from sex, they begin to feel more sluggish, with less vitality and hunger for sex. Cooper says, "Out of sight, out of mind is how some of my clients describe the scenario. Because it is not on your radar, you may tune out sexual desires. On the other hand, for some people, not having sex could make it even more desirable. You might not be thinking about it as much, or you might be thinking about it all the time," says Lauren Streiger, MD, author of Sex RX, Hormones, Health, and Your Best Sex Ever. It is really variable. Number 2, you may feel more down in the dumps. Sex is part physical, part mental. When people have sex, they are usually having skin-to-skin contact, and this kind of contact is the first primal way we as humans get comforted, as babies with our mothers. Cooper says, sexual connection gives partners loads of skin-to-skin caressing and touching can help to regulate one another's moods through the release of the feel-good hormone, oxytocin. Number 3, you may have less lubrication. For older women, the vagina can also have a hard time getting lubricated when you do start having intercourse again. As with thinning of the vaginal walls, this happens as women age because of the lack of hormones such as estrogen. If you take a young woman who is 20 or 30 years old, she's going to have plenty of estrogen around to make sure those tissues stay healthy, elastic, and lubricated. When she's not having sex, Dr. Streiger says, if you take someone who is 60 and has no estrogen, she has lost that piece of it. Number 4, you may have more discomfort during sex. According to the North American Menopause Society, regular intercourse is important for vaginal health after menopause. Without regular frequency of intercourse as you get older, the walls of your vagina thin out and can lead to painful sex when you finally get back into the sack. Cooper says, less frequent intercourse also provides less physical stimulation, which produces lubrication. Vaginal estrogen creams may help you slow or reverse this process. Number 5, you may feel more or less stressed. Like the other psychological effects of a lack of sex, this one is tricky. People who are less stressed tend to have more sex, but again it is an association, not cause and effect. Dr. Streiger says, that said, if sex is a stress reliever for you, not having could it cause an increase in your stress level. But, Dr. Steiger says, for some women sex is actually stressful for a variety of reasons. It may be painful, or it could be one more thing on their to-do list. Number 6, you may lower your risk of UTI. It might not be a surprise that the risk of sexually transmitted infections go down if you're not having sex, but the rates of urinary tract infections may decrease as well. But this depends on the kind of sex you are having. It is intercourse that is responsible for potentially increasing the risk of recurrent bladder infections. Dr. Streiger says, due to the spread of bacteria that can occur, 80% of UTI in premenopausal women occur within 24 hours of having sex, and frequency of sexual intercourse is the strongest predictor of recurrent urinary tract infections, according to research published in American Family Physician. If you are not having intercourse, you avoid these risks. Number 7, you may have worse menstrual cramps. You may have heard that sex can help alleviate cramps during your period. Although it has not been well studied, Dr. Streiger says the rationale is sound. The uterus is a muscle and many women will actually have a uterine contraction when they orgasm, which will cause the blood to expel more quickly, which will in turn decrease menstrual cramps. She explains, also, there may be an increase in endorphins, which also will help with menstrual cramps. This is an unexpected benefit you lose if you are not having sex, but fortunately, this one does not require a partner to remedy. Number 8, you may become less intelligent. Okay, you might not exactly be losing IQ points, but sex does affect our cognition. People who engaged in more regular sexual activity scored higher on tests that measured their verbal and spatial skills, according to a study published in the Journals of Gerontology. In addition, people who reported having sex scored higher on cognitive tests than those who had not had sex recently. The researchers think the brain boost may have to do with the hormones released during sex. Number 9. You can still comfortably slip between the sheets. Although some groups, such as menopausal women, may have long-term effects from not having sex, generally your body remembers how to do it when you jump back in the saddle. I think that is reassuring to people to say, hey, we have been on hiatus, but it is not like it is going to shrivel up and die. Dr. Strager says, things are going to work just fine. If they work before, they are going to keep on working, even if you have had a break.